Hi, welcome back to The Books Are Everywhere. There's horses going down the street. But anyway, hello. Welcome to another weekly reading vlog. It is actually Sunday rather than Monday, because at the end of last week's vlog, as I said, me and Mark are actually going on holiday today, just for a couple of days, and I wanted to include that in one vlog rather than split it over two vlogs, because we are only going for 2 nights, so I felt like it would really break it up on video, and I wanted to have all of the footage and stuff in one vlog. We're going to a place called Portmeirion, which we actually went to for my birthday last year, and I did include it in a vlog then. It is a mock Italian village and it's set on the North Wales coast, and it's an absolutely beautiful, stunning place. Many things have been filmed there, including The Prisoner, which is a TV show in the 1960s, and it is most well renowned, I think, for being in The Prisoner. But you can also stay there and visit for a day and go to the restaurant and the hotel, and there's cafes and things. But yeah, we're going to stay there for the second time. It is absolutely beautiful. It's a real luxury for us, but we did get a good deal for going in winter, so very excited to go back there, and that's where we'll be later today. I'm just waiting for Mark to get here and pick me up. But anyway, a little reading update with what I've finished this morning and what I will be reading in this vlog. So firstly, I did finish off my Some Men this morning. I'm not going to say too much about this because it will be in another vlog, which is the vlog where I read books that Mark bought me for Christmas, so look out for that one quite soon over the next few weeks. But I will say that I absolutely love this. I'm giving it 5 stars. It is very heart-wrenching but very beautifully written, and I just can't really describe why I love Steinbeck's writing so much, but I do. So really love this, really loved it. And I won't really say any more because I do go more in depth to my thoughts and feelings on this in my other video, so I'm going to not say anything more about this, but I'm going to talk to you about the books I will be reading in this week's vlog. So I am third of the way through Like a Charm by Al McNichol, just because I had this at work and I didn't have anything with me to read because I'd forgotten my book, so I started this one. Thank you to Jo for, I say, lending me this copy. We got sent a copy by the publisher and me and Jo are kind of sharing it at work, so she's read it and passed it on to me. And this one follows Ramia, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce her name, and I said I'd look it up and I still haven't, but it follows this girl, I don't know. I need to look that up, but anyway. She lives in Edinburgh. She moved to Edinburgh when she was a girl. I think she's probably around 12 in this book. This is a middle grade book. And she's pulled into her family's world of secrets. Her grandfather dies very early on in the book and leaves her this book that's about mythical creatures, and she kind of realizes early on that she can see these mythical creatures, and there is a lot of kind of secrets and mystery around that as well. This is Al McNichol's foray into fantasy. I've read A Kind of Spark and Show Us Who You Are by her and absolutely love her books, love her writing, so I'm very excited to be reading this one. And I will be carrying on with this because I'm now a third of the way into it after reading 100 pages at work on my breaks, so I will be carrying on with this book, but it's not my priority. But I probably will be reading this week because I don't think it will take me long to finish the other 200 pages. But what is my priority for this week and the next few days is Crossfire by Mallory Blackman. This is the 5th book in the Noughts and Crosses series, and it is 400 pages long, and I kind of want to get it finished by tomorrow. Don't know if I'll be able to do that because it is 400 pages long, and obviously me and Mark are going away today, and I don't know how much time I will have for reading. I've also not been feeling 100% the past few days, so I'm not gonna like force this to happen because I have been struggling to kind of sit down and focus on reading, but I will try. And I do think this one will be quite a quick read, so you never know, but I will try and read this one over the next few days and give you thoughts and feelings. But again, this is a book that I'm reading because Mark gave it to me, and it will be featured in my other vlog as well and have more in-depth thoughts and feelings on it there. But I will be reading it in this vlog. I will also be reading The Dragon Republic, which is the second Poppy War book by R.F. Quang. If you don't know, the Poppy War is a kind of high fantasy series. I read the first one, Buddy read the first one with a few friends in late January, early February, and I really enjoyed it. And it basically follows Rin, who moves from the poorer south of her country to the more wealthy and powerful north of the country to attend a magic academy, and things kind of escalate from that and it actually just ends in war, which I don't think is really a spoiler considering the book is called The Poppy War. And then this book kind of follows on from there, so I'm excited to see where this series goes. I hope there's an audiobook for it because it's very chunky, and I read a lot of the first one on audio as well, so hopefully the same happens here. And I did really enjoy the audiobook of the first one, so yeah, I'm going to be reading this one starting tomorrow. I need to break up the pages for it and tab it, but I'm going to be reading that. And yeah, that's all the plans I have so far this week, and then hopefully I'll be able to move on to my March TBR later in the week, but there is still stuff I need to read on my February TBR, so we will see. But the next clips you see will probably be of Portmeirion, so I hope you enjoyed that, and I will speak to you soon. Hi, it is now Wednesday. As you can see, I'm home. Me and Mark came home yesterday and I'm so sad to be back. We had such a lovely time. I know I didn't vlog like while we were there, as in like I didn't talk to camera, but I vlogged a lot of the experience for you, and we basically just spent like 2 days just wandering around the village. It was just really lovely. Had some amazing food. We had, as you probably saw, really bad weather on Monday, but it was actually really nice. Like, I think a lot of people would have been like really disappointed, but because essentially the way Portmeirion works is that it's open as a tourist attraction most of the year in the day, so you can go as like a day visitor, and I've done that a number of times, but you can also stay as a resident just for like a couple of nights or whatever. So the people who are residents obviously have access all of the time, and then in the day it opened up to day visitors, which was what it was like. Yes, well, it was what it was like both days, but obviously with the bad weather on Monday, no one really came, and we just had the whole place to ourselves the whole day. We went for a very wet, windy walk through the woodlands, which was very nice, but kind of dangerous. But it was just really beautiful to have that opportunity to just see it kind of like, because you do see it after the village closes, which is really cool, but you don't really get that same experience in the day. So to have that experience in the day where there was like hardly anybody around was really nice. And then yesterday we had really beautiful weather, but there was obviously more people around, and it was just nice to see it from like both sides. And we also just spent a lot of Monday just hanging out in the room, which was really cozy and really nice. We had this beautiful window with this beautiful view, which had 2 chairs in the window, so we were just spending some time together reading in the warm, in the cozy kind of room. It was really, really nice. I'm just really glad that we had that experience, and I hope you enjoyed the footage of it as well. But I am home for the next week or so before I go back to Marks for work next week, and I have a lot of the week off, which is cool, and that includes today. But on the book side of things, rather than just like life and updates, I finished Crossfire last night by Mallory Blackman, and I read a lot of this on Monday. I read 350 pages, I think, in one day when we had that bad weather, and then I finished it yesterday, and I really enjoyed this. It was so good, it was so entertaining, it was so fast paced, I just couldn't put it down. I was reading so much in one go, like up to 200 pages in one go. The chapters are really, really short, and I ended up giving this 4 out of 5 stars. I just think actually this is a really good addition to the story, and because this does follow the characters later on, you don't necessarily need to have all of the memory of the original characters as well. Like, as long as you kind of know who they are and some of their backstory, it doesn't matter too much, I don't think. Like, I'm sure there was things that I was missing out of this because I haven't read the books recently, but I think that's okay. I still had a lot of enjoyment out of the story. I don't want to tell you too much about what this is about, but basically it follows some of the characters from the earlier books much later in life, and there is a lot more kind of political stuff going on. There's a murder, they're all kind of interlinked. This follows a lot of the different characters and their separate stories, which I really liked, and I actually enjoyed all of their kind of stories pretty much equally, which I thought was really cool, because I know I've read some of these books before, and I think it was the second book in the story, Knife Edge, that I found really difficult to read, and I just didn't really enjoy Sephi's point of view in that at all, whereas this one was pretty evenly matched. I really enjoyed and was really like wanted to know what was happening in all of their stories. So yeah, really enjoyed this. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. For now, I want to finish Like a Charm, and I need to read The Dragon Republic because I'm bloody reading that at the moment, and I haven't started it yet while we've been away because it was in my bag and I honestly just forgot that we were reading it. So I'm now quite behind in that, and I want to read some of that today, and I'd like to finish Like a Charm, and then I will start my March TBR properly. But yeah, I'm gonna do some stuff today, catch up with some things. I'm so behind on writing book reviews and things like that, so I want to do some blog stuff and some uni work as well, and then I will probably update you later today or tomorrow. I am back like 5 minutes later because I forgot to show you something that I bought yesterday. I went to a random Waterstones because they were one of the only ones that had a book left I wanted to buy for my friend for his birthday. So I tracked that one down, and while we were in that Waterstones, I found this, or actually Mark found this and handed it to me, and I've never seen this before, but it is Your Name Visual Guide. I think this one must be fairly new because, as I said, I've never seen it before, but as you guys probably know by now, I love Makoto Shinkai so much. I really love his work, and Your Name is one of my favourite films in the world ever, and me and Mark are both big fans of Your Name and Makoto Shinkai in general. So when he found this, he just handed it to me, and this is essentially just like a guide from the film. I think it takes you through what happens in the film with loads of screenshots. There is an interview with, I think, either the actors or with Shinkai himself, and there is just loads of different things in here. There's like stuff about the locations of the book, some of the artwork that went into the film went into the film, people's like houses and stuff, like conceptual artwork. There is just so much in here, and I can't wait to have a flick through this because it is so cool. This is comparing the setting to Tokyo in real life, talking about light and how it's portrayed. There's just so much in here that I'm just so fascinated by. The folklore, I just love it. I love it. Apparently this says it's from 2016 in Japan, and then English translation was last year, 2021, so it's fairly new in this country at least. And this is just so pretty. I love how it's been done. I love this kind of format. It has this like sleeve on it as well, like a dust jacket as well, and I just think it's really beautiful. So I'm really glad I found this randomly, and that I own it now. I just had to buy it as soon as I saw it because I'm such a big fan of Makoto Shinko's. But anyway, I'm gonna go again now. Good morning. It is Friday morning. I say it's early, it's like 8:15 or something. And I am up fairly early to go to Hawaii again, which is, I went a couple weeks ago, so you would have seen that in another of my vlogs. It is a book town that is on the border of England and Wales, and there is a lot of bookshops there. I am taking Courtney today because she has never been. It is a fair drive away. It's around 2.5 hours from here. It's a fair drive away, so we're gonna have a little road trip, which is exciting. And we're gonna try not to buy all of the books. Last time I went, I bought 2 books, I think, so I didn't do too badly. And I'm not on the hunt for Agatha Christie books like I was last time. So I'm just gonna go and see if I find anything exciting or that draws my eye. I still love the idea of like visiting when I am trying not to buy books, but my TBR is like so high right now that I just can't really justify buying something that I can't get later, if that makes sense. But if I find something that I'm like, oh my god, I might never see this again, then I will buy it. So we'll see how that goes. But I didn't update you yesterday, so I thought it was about time to update you on what I'm currently reading. I don't know about you guys, but I always find that like at the end of the month I get this like push to finish my TBR for the month, and I just read like solidly for the last like 5 days of the month, and then when the next month starts I just get a bit of burnout and a bit slumpy. So at the start of the week I was reading like 300-400 pages a day, and then I've just completely kind of dropped off, and I'm not really like, I'm reading like 50 pages a day, which is still like a chunk, but I go from getting through books like super fast to getting through them quite slowly, which is annoying. And I guess, yeah, it's probably the closest to a slump that I luckily get, because I don't really get into full reading slumps. I'm always kind of reading something. But yeah, anyway, I'm rambling on. I will tell you about what I'm currently reading. So I am reading The Dragon Republic by R.F. Quang. I forgot that we were starting this buddy read on Monday because I was away, and although I had it with me, it was in my bag, so I completely forgot that we were starting it until I unpacked it on Tuesday night when we got home. So I am reading it quite slowly. I'm reading the audiobook of this, and honestly I'm not mad if I don't read this at the same pace as anyone else, because I think I would rather take it slow and read the whole thing in audio format, because I definitely am preferring audio format for these books. I did read the first kind of like 20 pages or so of this book physically, and I just didn't gel with it in the same way, but it will put me quite behind on our buddy read because I'm just not driving that much this week. So I think I'll probably catch up with this a lot next week. I say that I am driving a lot this week, but I'm driving with other people to go to like events and stuff, which is really cool. And it's really nice obviously to see my friends and do those things, but it does mean that I won't be putting this on while they're in the car because they won't understand it, and I'll probably spoil The Dragon Republic for them if they ever wanted to read it. So I'm obviously not going to be reading as much of this week, but I've kind of resigned myself to that fact, because after reading the first like couple of chapters physically and then putting the audiobook on, I definitely prefer the audiobooks for these books. I think there's just something about the way the narrator does the voices for the different characters that just makes them more distinct for me, and that really helps because I find the names hard to follow, and there's a lot of characters in here and I find that quite hard to follow. And I feel like, especially because the way that the names are said and not how they're written, I get really confused with who the characters are when I'm listening to the audiobook and then switching back to this format. So I think I'm going to stick to the audiobook. But anyway, enough rambling again. Don't know what's with me this morning. This one follows Rin. It's the second book in the Poppy War series, so I can't really say too much about where the plot is going, but right now we have kind of come straight out the back of where the Poppy War ended, and we're just kind of carrying on the story very seamlessly, I guess. And I'm hoping this book does kind of change its pace with the plot, because I don't really like the kind of war setting, but I think all of these books focus on war. I think the thing is with these books is like I loved the first like 150 pages of the Poppy War and it was amazing, but it had a completely different setting. And it was like a magic school academy, and then it's kind of completely changed, and that's where we've been from now, or like from then on. We've just been in the same kind of situations. So I feel like anything is going to be a little bit disappointing because I just want that first 150 pages back. But what I would like is to see the plot change so it's something more day to day. And something a bit different so I can get the same kind of feeling, but I'm not sure if we'll get that. But I won't say any more because, as I said, this is the second book in the Poppy War series, but I am enjoying it. It's just I don't think it's going to live up to what I want it to be. But anyway, I'm also reading Like a Charm by Anne McNichol. Definitely not getting through this as quickly as her other two books. I read Show Us Who You Are and I read A Kind of Spark in like a couple of hours, and then I read Show Us Who You Are in like a couple of days because I just got to a point with it where I just couldn't put it down, and I'm hoping I'll get to that point with this book, but I am getting through it and I'm over halfway now and I have 100 pages left. Don't get me wrong, I'm still really enjoying it and I love Anne McNichol's writing, and I love the idea that she's writing fantasy with a dyspraxic character, and I think that's amazing. And I also think she's still managing to have these really important discussions and battles, but I'm definitely not as hooked as I was with her other two books, and I feel like I'm just waiting to get to that point where I just want to pick it up and want to grab it. But obviously, as I said, that is probably partly because I am feeling a little bit slumpy and a little bit burnt out at the start of the month, so might be that. But also, how pretty is this cover? I love this cover. All of the stars are foiled and this is so pretty. I know they were going to do an edition of Show Us Who You Are that also had foiling. I've never seen that, and I would love to have that and have like a full set of these with the foiling. But anyway, I feel like I'm enjoying both of my books, but they both like aren't living up to what I want them to be, which is probably more me than the books, but we'll see where it goes. And then wish me luck trying not to buy all of the books in HLY. I hope you enjoy the next clips because they will no doubt be from HLY, and I will speak to you soon. Bye. Hi, as you can tell, I've just curled my hair and it went a lot bigger than I expected, but you know, now we have this, which is fine. But anyway, I am dressed up kind of as much as I get dressed up really to go out tonight with my friend Andrew, which I'm very excited for, but you won't see that in this vlog because I am about to end this vlog here, but that is why I've got my hair curled and stuff. So yeah, very excited for that and to see Andrew, but I'm here to give you a final reading update of this vlog. I have actually finished a book since I last spoke to you, started another book, and I'm also still reading The Dragon Republic, which it's going to take me so long to read this. Like, I have read hardly anything and I'm meant to be halfway by this point. but that's fine. I'm honestly just gonna read this at my own pace and read this on audio because I do much prefer the audiobooks, I think, to this series. So I am hoping to read this on audio for the whole month, basically. Probably, depending on how long it takes me. I've just not really done a lot of driving this week, and usually I just read when I'm driving, so I am enjoying this, but I don't think it's gonna be exactly what I want it to be. But I've already kind of spoken to you about that, and I'm not really feeling any different. I am enjoying it. We'll see where it goes. I think it's really interesting, and I am enjoying the series as a whole, but I think it just gave me a kind of like false hope at the start of the series that it would be something different, and then it's gone back to being more what I expected before I read it, so I don't know. I will continue to read this one, and you will see it in other vlogs. So I did actually finish Like a Charm yesterday, which is Almut Nichol's third release, and as you know, this follows our main character who can see through this kind of glamour and means that she can see like magical creatures. It is set in Edinburgh. It was very interesting. I loved this one talked about her dyspraxia and the differences that she kind of had and how that made her stronger and how that was actually not a bad thing, and I really like that. And I know Almut Nicol does that with all of her books. She's got a main character who's got autism, who's got ADHD, and now has dyspraxia as well, and I think she does do a great job of having these very plot focused, very fast-paced, action-packed books that also have this focus on somebody's kind of differences, but in a really positive way, and I really liked that. And I think all of her books are just going to be great for neurodivergent kids kind of seeing themselves in these pages, and also neurotypical kids understanding a bit more as well about what it's like to be neurodivergent. I think she's doing such a good job. I think I did say before this one didn't quite hook me as much as her other books, and A Kind of Spark is definitely my favourite by her, but I did still really enjoy this and I would recommend it, and I'm excited to see where the series goes. Also love this cover and love how this one looks with my edition of A Kind of Spark. It's very, very beautiful. But yeah, I did really like it. I'm giving it 4 stars, but it didn't quite hit the same spot as A Kind of Spark and Show Us Who You Are did for me. And then I actually started a new book last night, which is Greenwich Park by Catherine Faulkner, and I'm already over 100 pages in. This one is so good so far. This is a thriller. It's set in Greenwich in London, and it is very much set in Greenwich. Like, it talks about Greenwich a lot. Obviously it's called Greenwich Park. It talks about the park and the surroundings, so if you have been to Greenwich, which I have a few times, you will definitely be able to picture everywhere she talks about in your head when you're reading this. But yeah, this is a thriller that follows Helen, who is pregnant after a long time and a lot of pregnancies that didn't go very well and ended badly. So she's pregnant again. She meets somebody in her antenatal class at her NCT group who is kind of louder than life and they kind of become friends, but she kind of realizes that Rachel knows a lot more about her than she kind of should, and she knows a lot of her secrets and things like that. Also follows her relationship, the main character Helen's relationship with her brother and her brother's wife, and it follows one of her friends as well. There's a lot of people and they all have things to hide, and there is constantly these little bits of mystery within the story that just make you want to read on, and that's why I'm already 100 pages in, because it is so good. And I read a lot last night and I've read some this morning, and it is very hard to put down. Very, very good so far. Looking forward to reading more of this and seeing where it goes. So I will be carrying on with this one in my next vlog as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I managed to finish my first book of March, which is good, and start a few others, so that's good. But I definitely still have quite a few books on my TBR, so if you want to see how that goes, then join me for next week's vlog as well, and I will see you next time with another video. Bye. Thank you.